I've come to the realization about something that I have yet to do in Prison Architect that I said I was going to be doing a little while ago. And that something is a full sprinkler system, which I'm pretty sure is not in utilities and is in fact going to be in objects. Yeah. We're going to need a full sprinkler system just in case things happen to be set on fire again. I would kind of like it to be a little bit difficult for everything to burn down. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to just line the entire prison with a whole bunch of sprinklers. We're going to throw a couple into the common room. We're going to throw them into the reception area. We're just going to throw them into a whole bunch of different places. And generally, we're just going to hope that this is a means to stop the place from burning down should it happen to be set on fire again, which hopefully it won't be. But if it is, it won't burn down. And that's, again, that's kind of the important part. So we're going to throw just a whole bunch of them around the entire place, and we're going to hope for the best. I don't know if I need to double these up. I don't know if I honestly don't know what I need to do with sprinklers. I've never really used them in this game, but I'm going to put as many of them in as I can reasonably put in here. And we're going to assume that it'll be enough. Is what we're going to do. We're going to assume that as many sprinklers as I'm putting in will be enough to stop the place from burning down should it happen to catch fire. And if it isn't, well then, oh well. It'll burn down again, and I'm going to have to rebuild it, which honestly shouldn't be a problem. We're sitting on $113,000. And I'm going to be completely honest in telling you, I have no idea where that money came from. Because it's been about a week since I played this game last, reason being I've been kind of addicted to Satisfactory. So I have no idea where that money came from. We're just going to assume that I sold a bunch of trees because my workmen are cutting down trees at the moment, and I don't remember telling them to do that either. So we're going to assume that's what it is. I'm also going to say let's prioritize all the work that needs done in the prison because we don't really need to be cutting down trees right now. We have enough money. We can sort of live without cutting a whole bunch of them down. It's not going to be the end of the world is what it's going to be. Or rather, what it's not going to be. Anyway, point is, don't need trees right now. What we do need are pipes coming the whole way through the prison. So I'm going to run some pipes down here. I'm going to run them that way and this way. We're going to go ahead and run them through the canteen and into the doctor's office right there. And we're going to have to run them up into some of these spaces as well and up into there. And they're already going around the cells, which is fantastic news. So we have to get all of that installed so that the sprinklers will work, and then we'll be okay. What we also probably want to do is throw in the occasional, and I do mean occasional, and by occasional I mean quite regular, metal detectors or contraband scanners. I don't know what they are. I'm pretty sure they're just metal detectors. Reason being, again, quite simply, that, well, as it stands, we've got visitation. We probably want to make sure people don't sneak things back from visitation. So we'll throw that in there. And what I'm also going to do is I'm going to throw some scanners into that space, and I'm going to throw them into this space over here as well. We could actually throw them right there. Because what that should do is catch everyone going through the yard and catch everyone coming out of here in the showers. And if they have contraband or they have something they shouldn't have that I assume is metal, we're going to know about it, is what we're going to do. So I think that'll be pretty useful, and I think that'll be a good way to maybe catch people that have things that perhaps they shouldn't have. And then I think once we get all of this done, I kind of want to go ahead and maybe, just maybe, go ahead and start working on another prison is what I'm thinking of. And by that I mean another prison up here, not a new save game or like restarting the series. I mean, this is going to be the minimum security, or maybe this won't be minimum security. This can be like, I don't know, this can be regular, medium security, and then up this way we'll do minimum security and make it all lovely or something like that. I don't know, we might need more space. Which is totally possible, because we could go into bureaucracy and say, let's get land expansion, so sure, I guess we'll do that, is what we'll do. Let's see here. You will save 1,500 in taxes per 10,000 of daily profit. Sure. Let's get that as well. Let's get tasers and body armor as well. And you know what? Guard towers. Let's get legal. Let's get forestry labor. Let's do everything. We have the money. It's fine. It's not that big a deal. Also, are we done with, we are just about done with everything around here in terms of piping. So let's go ahead and put the, smaller pipes in here just to make sure that, nothing happens to spontaneously combust. And I'm sure that's all it was when the prison caught fire that one time. It was just a spontaneous combustion. It wasn't intentional at all, was it? That's all that was. These guys here are going to need to be connected as well. Those guys going to need connected. You're going to need it. You're going to need it. That one's already good to go. We've got you and you as well. And then these guys in the common room can be connected like that. And I'm pretty confident in saying that that is most of them. This guy here is going to need a pipe as well. But I'm pretty confident in saying that that is pretty much all of the sprinklers. And then in terms of the metal detectors, we're kind of going to need to wait. Or actually, are we? I think they might already have power, which is fantastic news. So we're not going to have to wait on those. And they're already working. Someone just got with some stuff that they shouldn't have had. So no complaints from me whatsoever. Let's go ahead and prioritize the pipes just so we can get the sprinklers done. And then honestly, I kind of want the prison to catch fire. I know I shouldn't, but I kind of do want the prison to catch fire because I'm curious to see what ends up happening. But again, you know, that's not really something you want to happen is what it is. So we're not gonna worry too much about that. We're still 6 hours away from land expansion. I am very tempted to, you know, maybe expand this island because that is something we can do as well. I'm pretty sure. Is it in here? It's in one of these options. I honestly don't, for the life of me, remember. But I'm pretty sure. Oh, where is it? We found it in like the last episode, didn't we? It was there. There it is. Quick Islands. So I can technically go ahead and do something like this to create a giant island if I really want to, but I don't know. I don't think we need to do that. And apparently all of my guards are getting body armor right now, which honestly, probably not a bad thing, given how many of them have, well, quite frankly, died. Quite a few of them have died here and there, so maybe that is a good thing. Anyway, let's go ahead then and see what we can do in terms of getting ourselves a new prison. And I'm gonna stick with planning for this, is what I'm gonna do, because I want to see. So I want this to be quite nice, is the thing. And to do that, it's going to be kind of tricky because, I mean, this isn't really much of a great sell, but this size here is a bit better. We could do our bed, we could do a TV, we can do all that stuff. But then the question becomes, is that too nice? Is it maybe a little bit much for what we're doing here? I don't know. I just don't know. What distance are we looking at here? So 5, right. So from that corner to there is 5. So if I go like that, it's 5, and then in 1, then across like that. If I was to do this kind of thing, where what distance is this? 4. So we want to go 4, and then like this. We could do this kind of pattern where we have, I don't know. I don't know if this is actually going to work, but I think you can sort of see what I'm trying to do, right? So we go there. We go like this. We do one in the middle. We go like this. We go back, what, 5, and in 1, and like that, right? I think that's all the same size. We go over and all this kind of stuff. We make something that's kind of a little bit interesting looking in terms of layout. And then in the middle, we could do, I mean, in the middle of this could be a yard, and then we could kind of tile that pattern over and over again to make different sized and shaped cells. Or what we could do is maybe go 1, 2, something like this, where we kind of invert the pattern. So then this side would be 1, 2, 3, up like this. I mean, that could kind of work. It's going to give us a bit of a weird shape, but that's potentially kind of interesting is what it is. So I think that's too big, isn't it? Yeah, that is too big. It should be there. And then like this, I want to say. So yeah, that's right. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, so we could do something like that and kind of have those be luxury-ish cells. They're not going to be super fancy, but they're going to be a little better than nothing, right? And then on this side, we can kind of do the same thing. So this would be 5-ish, up to about there, down to about there. And then we'd have this weird empty square. So these guys might not even be... Huh. These middle ones might not even have that same weird shape. They might just be like that. Which is kind of okay. I'm kind of okay with that. So maybe that's what we do. So this sort of thing, and then we could go like this. And then we'd loop it around. We can't really do cells over there, but we can do more of these cells over here. We can just keep doing that kind of thing over and over again. And getting ourselves something just a little bit... I just want to say interesting, right? It's a little different. It's a little weird. It's kind of cool. I kind of dig it. So it'll be something like that. We can cap that off. We can cap that off and fix that up there. I like this idea. I do. I like this idea. I think it's pretty solid. I think it'll be a good way to get slightly nicer cells that aren't necessarily super fancy, but that are definitely just a little bit nicer than what we've had. And I think it'll be a good little incentive for, let's see, what is this? 6. So 6. I think it'll be a good enough incentive for the prisoners to kind of just behave. You know, I really do. And apparently one of my, I like that I say that, and one of my guards was getting attacked. That's great. That's just what you want. But yeah, something like this. This could be like a yard or something right in the middle. And we could bring a couple more cells down here if we really wanted to. So this is a, what is this? This is a 6x5. So this would be a 6x5. And then the door would get cut there, I guess. And we'd probably do another one here as well. So 6x5, door gets cut there. And just something like that. I kind of dig it. I kind of like it. We'll put that in up there. We'll put this in up here. We need to put a little bit of sand over here as well, just to get that bit of planning done. And I like it. I really do. We could even go further than this, actually, in terms of planning. We could go into planning and say, take that out. Let's just bring these guys further down. I don't know what's going on with my planning here. There we go. So we can just bring these guys a bit further down if we really wanted to. And I've just realized I've done this wrong. So that's 6x5. This is also 6x5, actually. What have I done? I've done that. There we go. I'm going to keep these cut out corners in some places, though. Just because I can. And the question becomes, where am I going to keep them? I'm going to keep them here. And here. And maybe I shouldn't have kept them there. Maybe I should have done them elsewhere. It's going to make it a nightmare to copy and paste this, but I'm going to keep the cutout corners is what I'm going to do. So bring this down to here. We'll go like that. And we'll go like that. Bring this over, down, and like this. And again, that'll give us just a few more cells to play with, which again can all sort of be slightly more luxury than the cells that we've been giving them thus far. So this comes down, that goes across. This is just going to be, what, dormitories? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 28. So that would be 56, I want to say. I think I'd be right in saying that. So 56 cells. That's a lot, is what that is, just in case you couldn't tell. I think what we'll do is bring this over. And then what I'm going to do is work out the midpoint. So that is 9. So the midpoint is there. So what we'll do is cut out some doors like this. And I want to bring a corridor down here. And I'm going to double up this corridor because I think it'll be a little bit of bonus security. I think what we could do is something like this as well, where we do a door there and sort of double doors in this whole space. Again, just to add a bit of bonus security. I think we could probably go ahead and say doors like this and like this. We'll do there and we'll do there. Then obviously each of the cells is going to have a door on there as well, opening up into a nice big yard. We can do a nice big running track in there. And I think it'll be interesting. I think it'll be really cool. And I think this is kind of just a weird layout for a prison. And I like that. I like that we got these weird shapes. I like that I'm not necessarily perfectly following the shape of the island, or I'm not making a perfect square and stuff like that. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out what I'm doing here. I'm completely winging it. Is it obvious? It should be. So let's see. Do I want a reception on this facility? I feel like I do. So let's do a 8 by 10 space. And let's throw a door right there and a door right there. So they're going to come in, they're going to get processed, and then they're going to be led back this way and essentially up into this corridor is what they're going to be. So they're going to be led into that corridor, which is, I mean, we could do that better. We could honestly probably just get away with sort of offsetting the door a little bit. So we'll have them come in at the bottom and then leave up there. So they go through reception and up there, and that'll be fine. We'll have to change the way this little bridge bit is done, but that's fine. We can do that. In terms of everything else, that's the tricky part. So like canteens and stuff like that. Do we have enough to... do we have enough to do a small island? Is that something we could get away with? So quick islands. Let's try this. I've not tried it yet. So that's not big enough for a canteen. That's not really big enough for a canteen either. Neither is that. None of this is big enough for a canteen. So what I'm going to do is cheat a little bit by sort of playing with some dirt and making myself an island that I can put a canteen onto without necessarily connecting it to everything else that's going on. So something like that, and then I want to go through here with some water. Just so it's a little bit more distinct. And that's, oh, this is okay, right? I can deal with this. This seems like a good shape. I do want to put a little bit of dirt there so I can go ahead and get that wall in there. And I guess the canteen is going to go over here, which is going to be weird because I need to actually go ahead and put, I need to put some foundations in there. So something like this, the entire way across. And we'll turn that into some kind of, I don't know, some kind of like bridge thing. I like this idea though. I think this would be kind of cool. And I think what we could do, honestly, is I might actually just make this a big square. I really might do that. And then build the canteen kind of right on this entire thing. You know, make it seem like it's been built right out into the water for the canteen. We'll go a little bit further. We'll prioritize that. And then what I'd want to do is go to walls in the planning section and build around like this. And we'll build right over. So the canteen can go, I think like that. I think we could get away with that. I'm not sure how many seats I could get in there, but maybe that'll be okay. I'm thinking the kitchen can totally go down here. And I like the idea that the kitchen could maybe be, you know, a little bit weird there in that corner. I kind of like that idea. Right? I think that'll be fine. In terms of other things, though, maybe what we actually do is add a little corridor there. So this is going to come straight over, and this is going to come straight over. We're going to have a door there, and that's going to be, you know, straight into the canteen. We can do a staff door there, and we could do a staff door there as well. I think we're just going to need the one door for that. So, wall there and door. But maybe utilities go down here. So this could be sort of its own little space as well. And I'm not really sure what it'll be, but I think that can be its own little room there. So canteen, yard, cells. Do I want to do something like a common room down here? I'm not really sure. Visitation is a thing we'd probably want to do as well. Do we want to do visitation for these prisoners? We probably do. So I think what we could maybe get away with is building visitation into this space. So let's go ahead and do that kind of thing as well. We're just going to build out a nice, let's do maybe something like this. Maybe the visitors come in. Oh, I kind of like this actually. Let's do that and let's prioritize. And it's going to be a bit weird having these big squares, but I'm going to surround them and try and make them look a little bit more natural a little bit later on. But my thinking would be visitation can be that. We can do a visitor door there, and the prisoners can get a door there. And then essentially we'll probably do a door there for extra security and there as well, and like that, so they really can't escape, and there as well, and there. Right? I think that'll be fairly secure is what that'll be. But my thinking for visitation here is, if I remember right, well, I don't need to remember. These are 2x2. Oh, there's a fight going on there. Hello? Okay, well, that seems to have sorted itself. I think someone tried escaping. It didn't really go well for them. But the visitor tables are 2x2. This is 11, so there's a midpoint there. So what I think we'll do is can I put these right next to each other? Yeah, I can. All right. So 1, 2, 3. And then we'll go 1, 2, 3. And we can do that. We can just do a bunch of them. So we can have 7 visitor tables across there. And I think what we'll actually do is have the, we can bring this down a little bit. We can extend this corridor. And we'll put some doors there, and then a nice door right at the end. So it doesn't look like the prisoners are coming through a big old metal door, but they absolutely are. And then this can be our visitor section. The visitors come in here, the prisoners come in here. It'll be perfect, is what that'll be. Okay. So I like this. I like this so far. What else can we do to it? I'm thinking water. For one, I'm thinking this entire section here in front is gonna need to be water. So let's get that prioritized and all turned into a body of water. And then what I want to do with it is go like this. So it's essentially just gonna be a big old strip of grass going across there. And then off of that, we can go ahead and, you know, make it look a bit more like sort of a bridge or something like that. But that'll be, you know, how we get back and forth. And that should be fine. So, let's figure this out then. Let's figure out. So they've got visitation. They don't have a common room. Is that something we're going to want to give them? I'm not going to give them work, but I think a common room might be a good idea. So let's actually give that, let's actually give them that off of visitation. So flooring, grass, let's go to here. Let's just do a 9x9 common room is what we'll do. And we'll just go ahead and throw some walls kind of right around the edges of that is what we'll do. So there, and the entrance can be, I guess, there, and that'll be fine. So that'll be their common room. And then we just need to throw foundations down. That's kind of all we need to do here. So, let's figure this out. Let's see what we can do. We could, if we really wanted to, go for foundations with white walls, which is quite tempting. The decayed ones would be interesting as well. The classy ones would be something for sure. Art Deco would be interesting. We could go for blue stripes. We could go for medium, min. I'm very tempted to go for the blue ones. I'm thinking we're going to go for the blue ones. I'm going to give it a shot and see what it ends up looking like. Going to be quite expensive, but I'm going to do this just because I want the blue walls and I just want it to look good. So let's go ahead and just throw these around absolutely everything, which apparently is slightly tricky to do by the looks of it. So like this, and then down to here. We're going to want to go like that, and over to here as well. That space needs filled in. I think we're getting just about everything, so let's go to here. We are spending a lot of money on foundations that we don't need to be spending. That's my big realization thus far, is that these foundations are crazy expensive, but I think they'll look good, so that's kind of okay. And by kind of okay, I mean it's not, but it's just the way it is, isn't it? So we'll go to there. And I think that's the foundations for just about everything in that main bit. We'll go ahead and do here. We'll go ahead and do here. We'll come down. We'll do this room. And then we'll do the kitchen as well. And then the entire thing is going to need an entrance, which is slightly tricky to do, but there we go. That should be everything that needs foundation. That should be everything getting blue walls. That should be everything sort of looking the part. I'm kind of excited to see if this actually ends up working. And then obviously I need to tidy up the islands and all that stuff, but I think it looks interesting, right? I think this idea for the cells is kind of interesting. I'm curious to see how this ends up going. And I'm hoping it goes well, but I'm not going to hold my breath because it's me and, you know, well, it's me. This is actually coming along really nicely, but I have just realized that we don't have a shower room. So what I'm thinking I'm going to do is go into flooring, go to sand. I'm going to extend this back a little bit. And we're basically going to have this become a shower room right up at the end of the yard, which I've covered in gravel just as an easy way to get rid of trees. And I think that's worked out pretty well. We're also going to need to go in here and get ourselves some more doors because everybody's got stuck in these cells. So we'll go ahead and throw a bunch of doors into all of those spaces. We're going to need some doors over here as well. That is going to need a door as well, which we'll do right there. We're going to need to go ahead and put in some regular doors there. We're going to need to do a visitor door right there. And then everything else should be totally fine. We're going to need guards to come through and unlock everything as well, which is going to be a total pain because at the minute, well, the guards are doing a bunch of other things, but you get the idea. We'll go ahead. We'll prioritize. I was going to say we'll prioritize that work, but it looks like it's already being prioritized, which is lovely news. We can then go ahead into the walls, and once this is sorted, we can essentially just come on, get those little bits. Oh, come on, don't leave me with that one in the middle. There we go. We're gonna do this is what we're gonna do, and then we'll go to demolish walls, demolish those, prioritize all of that, and that's gonna be our shower. Even if it's not necessarily big enough, that's gonna be the shower. I'm also gonna say prioritize all of this because we kind of need to get those doors in there so that we can kind of get these guys a little bit unstuck because they are, well, they're very stuck is what they are. There we go. So those guys can get out. This guy can get out. Everybody can get out. This up here hasn't even started yet, which is fine, I guess. I think what we can also do is maybe just leave the doors like that and then go in and just clear all of the plans that we had. And I think this looks okay, honestly. I'm honestly quite okay with how all of this is looking. I really like it. I don't know. There's something about it I just really enjoy. I'm also really hoping that, there we go. So that can all be installed there. Hopefully that's the room pretty much done. It looks like there might be one or two little bits still to do. I think that's it. I want to say that's it. There we go. And that can be our shower, is what that can be. So that should be easy enough to get working. I think what I want to go ahead and do next is essentially go into this yard and say that I want paving stones around the, I want paving stones in all of the corners is what I want. And I want them to be kind of doubled up like that. And then I want to just bring them around like this. So the entire yard is kind of, you know, nicely bordered by some paving stones. And then essentially, we're going to go in and put a bunch of grass into the middle, and we're going to hope that the grass doesn't end up with trees on it, because if it does, I'll be slightly annoyed, but not surprised is certainly what I'll be as well. So that'll be our yard. I think it'll be fantastic. I think what we can also do is go to rooms and go to shower, and that's what that'll be. We can go into canteen, and we can say that this room right here is going to be one big old canteen. We can go down to this room and say this is going to be one big old kitchen, which is probably a little bigger than it needs to be, but that's what that'll be anyway. This up here can be a common room. And then this one down here can be a visitation room, is what it can be. And apparently that common room just works. Apparently it doesn't need anything, which is actually kind of surprising to me. Oh, also we need to get a reception right here as well. I've apparently already got a do I have a couple of these? So we've got 3 reception rooms apparently. Oh yeah, I guess we have one down here, don't we? I forgot that this actually existed at all, so fair enough. Can I cancel this work here? Because I'm not really sure why this is all highlighted so strangely. It's definitely a little bit weird the way that is, that's been highlighted, but sure. And then I think what we'll also do is we will just throw the utilities down into this. I'm out of money. Oh my God, we're actually out of money. I mean, I guess what we can do is just sell all of this, and I can tell you right now, it'll, you know, it does pretty well in terms of getting me some cash. I don't mind if I do. And then I have no prioritization there, so that's whatever. Yeah, that always tends to work, is what that does. So yeah, this should be pretty good. I think what we'll go ahead and do then is into utilities, we'll go to power station, we'll put it down there. We'll do a water pumping station right there. We can run power from one to the other at some point. There's not really any rush to do that, because what I kind of want to do is I want to get lighting into all of these spaces as soon as I possibly can. So let's go ahead and just get a bunch of lights into the canteen. So a little something like that. We can get some lights into the middle of the space as well. We can do some lights in all of the cells here, I think. Have I done this right? I think I have done this right. We'll get rid of you and do something like that. And that'll be, yeah, that'll be lights in all of the cells, which is probably a pretty weird way of doing this, but it's the way we're going to go about it. We'll have them sort of be facing the doors, I guess. So a bit like that and a bit like that, and that should be a single light in each of the cells. The showers, I'm just going to do lights in the corner, or each of the corners. The common room, I'm going to do the same thing, and that should light it quite nicely. Visitation, going to be the same thing. We can sort of do the middle as well, and then sort of dot them like that. Give visitation some really nice even lighting. And then the reception space, just do some nice lights in the middle there. We'll kind of extend that out a little bit as well, make the reception nice and bright. And then some lights like this throughout the corridors, just a little bit there, just to try and keep those nice and bright. So something a little bit like that. We could go here, and probably up there as well. Each of the cells already have lights. We'll do some lights in the corners of the yard. Could do some lights there as well. And that seems okay. That seems like a pretty good spread for lighting throughout this entire prison so far. This entire, I keep calling it its own prison. This entire wing of the prison seems to have pretty good lighting. So that should be all right. I just noticed we have an anatomy model, which I'm terrified of, to be totally honest. And by terrified of, I mean it just seems like it would be very intimidating to have something like that in a prison. I'm not gonna lie, that seems a little. It does seem a little terrifying, but I kind of dig it, so whatever. Let's go ahead and prioritize all of that then. So we'll prioritize every little bit of that. I am thinking I'm probably going to want door servos in here at some point, so I'm realizing that having some security down here, a proper little security room, would not be a bad thing. But we're not going to rush into that just yet. What I am going to do is connect power to those, and then I want to bring power pretty much right through everywhere. So we'll bring power way down this corridor, bring it into that space. We'll bring power up there, and we'll bring power up there. We can go up and around the yard as well, and that'll hopefully power just about everything. We might need to go into the showers. We probably want to go down here as well. And we might as well just loop around there as well. And into the common room just to be safe. And that should more or less power everything. The canteen might need a little bit of that. And I know the kitchen's going to need connected as well. So we'll just kind of loop around the kitchen like that. And connect out to whatever's needed once we get to that point. Probably gonna want to get some capacitors too, so we'll just get 3 of those, and everything should be pretty good there. This seems nice though. I like this. I think it's gonna be a fantastic little addition, and it looks really cool having everything spaced out on islands like this. I'm really kind of enjoying that. And it'll be nice as you guys aren't connected. Hello. Let's go ahead and get you connected and you as well, just to make sure. Oh, you're not connected either. There we go. Have I missed any of the other sprinklers? I haven't. Okay. So that should mean that, you know, whenever this place catches fire again, we should be fine. Which is what you want. You know, you want to be nice and safe if your prison happens to catch fire. Which mine has only done once. But on one hand, the prison's only caught fire once. But I'm quite confident in saying it will probably catch fire again. And when it does, I would like it to be extinguished before it happens to catch fire and burn the entire thing down and kill everyone in the process. I also want to mention that there's only been 1 death in the time that I sat down to record this episode. It happened to be a guard, but it does make a change that none of the prisoners have died today. So with that in mind, I like to think of this as a success.